Try that again. You know, this button, this mute button, sometimes I hit it and it just doesn't respond. So let me say that again. Looks like we have a handful in here already, so I will preface things this way tonight. If I seem a little bit sluggish to you guys, a little bit off, probably gonna have to run and go get one of them COVID tests here tonight when I get done with this live stream. 'Cause I'm feeling a little under the weather, feeling a little achy, a little tickle going on here, a little not right. So if I seem a little bit off, that will be why that is the case. Speaking of cases, that is the primary thing that we're going to start off talking about here tonight. As you guys may or may not know, I just did a video talking about these Norev cases for Surface Duo 2. So I've been using one for a couple of days. I actually used this one for a couple of days. And I have some thoughts on it. So in terms of just actually like using the thing, in book mode, totally good, fine. But the problem I have is the problem that a lot of you fine people probably have, which is you don't have access to phone mode. When you fold this thing back around, you can only get about here before things start to scrunch up and you just don't have phone mode. And even tint mode is a little bit awkward. So like earlier today, before I started feeling a little weird, my sinuses began burning, I was going to some stores, picking up a couple of things, and I had a couple of things on my arm, and I needed to look at my phone for something, and I'm like, well, you know, normally I could pull my phone out and kind of gingerly put it in phone mode on one hand. Well, with that case on, I can't. I literally had to like set down what I was doing, pull out my phone and use it, and then go back. So that's a bit of a problem, right? So I actually did something to one of these cases. I modified it slightly with a pair of scissors. I know that's probably horrifying considering this is like $100 like leather handmade case. But I did something. So this bit here, you can see it's like, this is hard here. And then this is just a flap of leather. I thought, well, that's kind of getting in the way of phone mode. So I wanted to see how much further it would go back around if I removed that bit. And I feel like it still looks fine without that there, right? My skin's there, so it looks okay. And it made it go back a little bit further. But now you've got this little loopy dude here kind of hanging out in the way. But maybe getting from there where I was before to like there, which makes tint mode much more usable, but you're not using it like that in phone mode. That's still a bridge too far. So I'm probably going to be removing this and going back to the bumpers, the official bumpers, as much as it pains me because it is really nice. Probably what I'm going to be doing. So I'm going to drop a comment so that I know that comments aren't broken or something. There's like 15 of you in here, but no one's commented yet. Say something. Just give me something to go off of here. Or, I mean, does anybody have any questions about this case? Anything that they want to know about it? Any sort of situation you want to see? I've actually thought about cutting the little loops too and seeing if they would hold on. See if this would hold on, and if it wouldn't, maybe use some 3M adhesive or something and stick it on, because that might work. But I don't know. I'm not sure if it would or not. But you can see where it's running into that. If that wasn't there, you're definitely going to get closer. Android Digest. What's going on, man? Good to see you in here. Did I see correctly? Did you just tweet earlier today? Looking at Twitter here. Was it you? No, that was someone else. That was Drew that got the Oppo Find N. It's like, damn. But you just posted a video comparing Surface Duo 2 to the Z Fold 3. So, guys, check out their YouTube channel. Great video there. Greetings from Germany. Wow, all the way from Germany. Glad to see you in here. I appreciate that. When does the OtterBox case finally release? I don't know. They've gone totally silent. If you don't know, this is what we're talking about here. Go away. I would love to try this thing. I would love to try it. But, you know, it has said this option is coming soon for months. And I don't know what they're waiting on. I don't know what's happening. But yeah, I don't know. I've emailed them. I think the skin and the bumper does look really good too. It does look really good. Recently bought the pin cover case and I love it. Just wish Microsoft included a back cover. Yeah, that is a little weird to me too, right? Then you got two different things going on. I can't justify it simply because I don't use the pin, like, ever. It's hard for me to justify it. Absolutely. And I can talk about screen protectors on Surface Duo too. There aren't any worth buying currently that I've seen. The problem is, like a lot of curved screen protectors, you get that curved interior screen there. Let me get rid of that. And they don't want to adhere. They start lifting up. So until I come across a screen protector that's worth buying, worth owning, I'm not using one. Now, at the same time, like, I can grab my original Duo over there and show you there's no scratches on that screen. Like, for me, the fact that it's closed all the time means that the screen really doesn't suffer any damage. So screen protectors aren't a huge deal for me on Duo, on a device that can close like this, that does close like this. But it would be nice to be able to put one on there, waiting for one, a decent one to pop up. I did get a comment here, which I'm going to try and find real quick. If I could remember like a keyword that they used. Bumper. They asked if the Surface Duo 2 bumper, yes, a guy named Defty, asked me to try the Duo 2 bumper on the original. So I'm going to respond to him. Check out my last live stream at, I don't know how long I've been going. I'm just going to say that. And we're going to try that. So we've got the original Duo here. And what he's asking me to do is, the new bumpers are just better, right? They're much more, they're slimmer. They're less obtrusive. So another greetings from Germany. Am I popular in Germany? I dropped mine a couple times that was open. Yes, they are. They are. That is a great point. When you're in phone mode with this thing, it is slippery. That is totally right. But we want to look and see here. Let's go to the overhead camera, make sure, is it working? Yes, it is. He wanted to know if these bumpers would work on the original Duo before I put it back on the Duo 2. I don't guess there's really anything in particular here. The orientation. I know that this one goes on the bottom and this one goes on the top. I don't know if they fit, but we can kind of look here. So there's your problem. It's going to be your height. How visible this is. It just doesn't line up. If you cut it and separated it, it might. Because I bet if I come over here and I go up top, yeah, like, and see there, we're overlapping with the volume. That will focus. So you'd have to cut it there as well. And then, yeah, and that one overlaps even further. And then down here, you could go that way, and then you're overlapping with the USB-C port. So there's no series of ways to put this where that's going to work. So sadly, no, they just don't line up well at all. So I'm going to put the bumper back on my my Duo 2 here real quick. And if you guys have any questions or any comments while I'm doing this, feel free to ask them. You can see my thermometer here, as I talked about. Not feeling well. No fever yet. No fever yet. 98-ish, which, you know, I usually run a little cooler. I'm usually closer to like 96, 97, so maybe that kind of is a fever. Maybe that kind of counts. I don't know. I don't feel great though, guys. Pop that back on. See if the feels like it's re-adhering relatively well, so that's good. And then up here, gonna be this one. And then lastly, we're gonna be here. Okay, so official bumpers reinstalled. They're adhered well. And we're back to being slim and small and all is well in the world. You are a worldwide phenomenon. That is too funny. Too kind. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, you know, that's one of the biggest problems with Duo, though, is the fact that it is hard to protect the thing, you know? Like, I kind of think that your best bet is a dbrand or SopiGuard, and excuse me, the official bumper probably is your best option. If you want to be a bit cheaper, do you guys know about SopiGuard or Sopi? I don't know how it's supposed to be pronounced. Are you guys aware of this place? I'll show you real quick for those that might not be. If you go to their website, they've got stuff for Surface Duo too. You can see it's cheaper than dbrand. It's a little bit thinner than dbrand, but you've got like a ton of different options here, right? And a lot of these are like, you're gonna be like, oh, it's the same thing as dbrand. Yeah, they're the exact same patterns. This is the one I've got on mine now, except I did the dbrand. And if you go to dbrand, let's see what that one costs. The exact same thing. Do front back camo, $19 instead of $15. It's a little bit thinner, but if you're like gonna skin your charging case thing, your Surface Slim Pin charging case, that's actually better because it's thinner. So definitely something to keep in mind. And they've got all kinds of cool stuff. Like if you want your Duo to look like it was on an episode of Dexter, you could do that. That's actually pretty cool looking. Some of these are pretty good. But yeah. SopiGuard. SopiGuard. He's the only one making good. There are a few channels that I will shout out, like I just mentioned. Android Digest did just release a few Surface Duo 2 videos. There are more. And I'm going to feel like a total jackass for not being able to remember them. But my memory's horrible for stuff like this. But there are a few more. Tim Tech. Somebody help me out. Ryan Tim, is that right? Yes, Ryan Tim Tech. He's making a bunch of Duo videos as well, so definitely check him out. Also, I will watch your videos every day until I get a Duo 2 of my own. That's very nice. I hope that this stuff is still entertaining to people that don't even have the thing. I've had a lot of people comment here lately. Like when I say a lot, I mean like 5 or 6. Not really a lot of people at all. But comment and say something like, "You make too many Duo videos," and I'm like, it kind of kills me because like if I look at, I mean, first off, like that's what I do, but then second, you know, I post a lot. I post like 6 videos a week, counting the streams, and I talk about Duo in a lot of them. But I talk about like if you deleted all my Duo content and just watched the content where it wasn't Duo, I'm still putting out more content than like 95% of other creators. So hopefully you guys enjoy the Duo content. Looks like most people have said that they definitely do. So I appreciate that. I ordered from SopiGuard at Christmas. My Duo 1, but they haven't shown up yet. Man, they're way behind then. For Christmas. Or at Christmas. They're 3 weeks behind at that point. I've never had any issue like that with them coming, but that is good to know. Might be something to keep in mind. I bought 8 different colors. The leather one is extra grippy. The leather one. Did not realize there was a leather one from SopiGuard. Now I got to go back and look at it. Let's show and tell real quick. Let's see here. Special texture. Oh, well, duh, right there in front of me. I had it right there. I don't love the color of that leather though. Maybe it looks a little green shifted. I'd like to see it in a, I don't know. That might be okay though. That one rather. Yeah, looks like a moleskin notebook. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you commenting and so forth as well. It does help out a lot. Tech Odyssey. Thank you. Good Lord. How did I forget Adam? God almighty. Yeah, Tech Odyssey. Thank you. One, yeah, some gadget guy. Yep, he's another one. He's another big channel that is. He hasn't made a duo video lately, but he did make several there for a while. He is a good one. Probably lost in the mail. Have you had any snow? That's been a problem here lately. We keep getting rounds of snow and it keeps delaying things. In fact, initially when I was going to be getting these cases, they sent them from France, and I got my tracking and everything, and I was like, cool. And then it snowed, and everything got pushed back and back and back and back, and then they finally showed up, and they were for an iPhone. They sent me the wrong stuff. So I emailed my their, the PR person I was talking to. I was like, hey, sent me iPhone cases, and they were like, oh no, I'm so sorry. And then they sent out the right stuff, and they got it here in like 4 days from France, which is wild. Had some weird winter weather here lately, so might have been slowing it down. Let's see, what else? What do you guys think of the that Oppo Find N though? Does that intrigue you? I know that obviously we all love, everyone here loves having two screens, and having one screen is always going to be different than having two screens. But that Oppo Find N, I find it very intriguing. And if Google really does put out something of a similar shape and size, that's going to be very, very intriguing to me. What do you guys think about that? About that Oppo device? What's going on, Larry? Good to see you in here. Reliable, always here. Appreciate that. It is kind of funny that so many places that were like reporting, oh, the Pixel Fold is going to look like the Oppo Find N. And like, I did it too, to a degree. But like, we're going off of like such a small bit of information, It does feel like we're jumping to conclusions a little bit. From Amazon, ordered 3 different times and got them in 3 days. That is true. You can order them from Amazon instead of from their actual website, and that does seem to help for some reason. Like get a matte black from Dbrand for the back to go with the pin cover case to make it a little more seamless. Yeah, most definitely. Find N would be good, but I need the Play Store for sure. That is a big problem. And I wonder, with a lot of these devices, you can sideload the Play Store. Like a lot of Huawei devices, you can sideload it pretty easily. And I wonder if that's an issue or something you can do with this Oppo device. Honestly, I kind of wonder, why doesn't that parent company that owns, OnePlus and Oppo and Realme, OnePlus seems to be their like US brand, So like, just take the Find N, make it say OnePlus, the OnePlus Fold or whatever, and release it under OnePlus. I mean, it would be such a simple thing to do, I don't know. I'd love to see him try it. I already took my main SIM card out of Duo. It's a backup phone, but the Oppo will be mine, no question. It's perfect size. Yeah, it is really good. Was it the original Duo? And how long did you wind up having it before you bailed on it? Because I eventually took my SIM out of my original Duo too. Just too many little issues. Wouldn't it be crazy if Android 11 came out like while I was streaming? Wouldn't that be wild? Like I'm still checking like about at least once a day. I'll pull it up and I'll check. No joy yet. One of these times I'm gonna do that and it's gonna be on there. Yeah, I mean the Find N, it makes so much more sense to me, like the Z Fold is so narrow and so tall. It's hard. I mean, that thing's not one-handable, like I've got smallish hands already, and trying to reach up there to the top is just super, super awkward on that device. And the Find N just looks infinitely more foldable. That looks so good. I just love the way it looks. I love that aspect ratio. I love the width. is so nice. Like I got used to having the tall, skinny screen there on the Z Fold, but that looks so much better. And then opened up. Yeah. It's just, that's so much better. I want one, but I can't justify the price of importing one at this point. Thought I might have regrets with not getting a Fold, but I love the dual screens. Way too useful and makes my job so much easier. For sure. It's one of those things that I feel like once you get used to having dual screens, it's really hard to go back to having, even if it's a big screen, having just a single screen. You know, people always say like, oh, you can split screen on the Z Fold, and you can, and it works really well, but like it takes, you know, an extra step or two to get that stuff going on Duo. It's just not the case. So if you're that kind of person, you know, it does make a big difference. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. So a lot of people bought Duos that were locked to AT&T that were cheaper, and then they got them unlocked by AT&T, but I guess they're still technically an AT&T variant. So the update goes to AT&T, then AT&T has to sign off on it. So they get their stuff later. That's very interesting. Yeah, I looked at that. I actually looked at that on Amazon earlier today. And yeah, I think my wife would kill me. But it looks so good. It looks so good. Why do they bring Android 11 for service to 1 when 12L is a better way to go? Is it wasted energy? At this point, they got to get Android, because if they came out at this point and said, we've worked all this time on Android 11, we're going to throw it in the garbage and go from there, jump to Android 12L, that would be crazily unacceptable. They've got to get a major update out now, and 12L ain't gonna happen till summer at best. At best, summer. They got to do it now. Oh, I'm glad you popped in time to be able to see that. I did see a 3D printed Duo bumper. I'm not sure how I feel about it. It probably, I mean, it needs some refinement, right? But see if I can find it here real quick. Bumper case. There we go. It looks to me like it could use a little bit of refinement, but I mean, it kind of looks a lot like the OtterBox thing, doesn't it? To me, kind of a similar thing going on. There's some rough edges, it looks like, in this vicinity, but you know, maybe with a really good 3D printer, you could do something similar. It's definitely an interesting idea. I like seeing it. Duo 2, it's a struggle with one hand trying to reply or anything. Changing music in the truck is impossible. Yeah, I can understand it. It doesn't bother me too much, but it definitely is still hard to one hand. Like if you've got one hand full, you got to pull it out of your pocket and open it up. It can be a little bit irritating. I keep mine mounted when I'm driving. The mount I use holds on to one screen, so I've got both screens just sort of sitting there, and I'll usually have, YouTube music up on one screen and whatever on the other. And it works great for me for that. But, to each their own, as they say. I don't really see the need for an external screen, but I can. That's not true. I do see the need for it. It's just something that I don't really care about, because I've always got a smartwatch on of some kind, and it kind of takes care of that basic need. Saw something else on here on the Reddit page that I wanted to bring up. Did you guys see this thing? People come up with, I don't want to dump on, man, he's getting downvoted. That's a weird idea, right? Extending it up above and putting the camera up there. I don't know. That's a very weird thing. That's very strange. What is that mount called? I'll get to the 12L comment here in just a second. Don't worry. If you Google Surface Duo car mount, if you Google it, I believe the first result that is a video will be my video. But I will do that anyways. Make that easier for you. I put it in the comments. Any word on 12L? So, I mean, nothing specific. I mean, I've talked about kind of what Android 12L is and what it might report to do for Duo. But in terms of like when we're going to see it, I mean, you figure it's January now. Like, will Android 12L be done? What, maybe February or March? Maybe. And then they've got to actually do the work to port in it. But hopefully they've been working on Android 12 and it will be a simple change to go to 12L. And maybe, you know, spring, summer, you know, would be really optimistic. But at this point with Duo's history, I think it's probably better to expect summer or something like that. Smartwatch is a great way to avoid the in-pocket problem. Yeah, I use it all the time. Like if I need to like change a track or something, I can just do it here and it's okay. But I get where people are coming from with wanting the external screen. Like Jessie's got one on her Z Flip, and I bet she very rarely uses it. I wonder how often people actually use that cover display. Question, is Duo too smooth? Like Pixel 6 and other... yeah, I mean, to me, like, I feel like the thing's pretty smooth. I mean, it's hard to capture something like smoothness on a video here, but I mean, everything I do on it, I very rarely have bugs and issues. Everything I do feels nice and smooth, and it's got that 90 hertz display, so everything's good as far as that goes. But you know, for me, yeah, everything launches quick, everything scrolls smoothly. I don't really have any complaints with the performance on Duo 2. Duo 1 was hitchy, you know, it would kind of hitch and stutter and so forth. So yeah. Bottom line, 12L is a polite way of saying they are delaying the next round of updates for Surface Duo. I mean they are, you know, but I guess you gotta ask yourself, why? Is it, you know, because they couldn't get Android 12 going, or was it because 12L, or because Android 12 is was it not a big enough update? You know, they're whatever their reasoning is, and I can't tell you what their reasoning is, but I will tell you is that 12. So going from 11 to 12L will be a much bigger jump than going from 11 to 12. I can tell you that much for Duo. And it's possible that what they're thinking is, by the time we get 12 ready to go on Duo, 12L will be out for a minute. Will have been out for a while. So we may as well just, and maybe they're thinking it is not as big a deal to go from 12 to 12L. Like it's only going to take them like a short amount of time, because it's not like it's a full update, right? So that's kind of my thinking, is that they looked at it and figured, hey, we're going to have 12 out. Let's just totally hypothetically, we're going to have 12 out in April, and then 12L will be out, and then it's going to take a month to get that out. And instead of just doing update and then another big update, they're just like, well, by the time, we may as well just go straight to 12L, because it's going to, you know, we're just going to work on that straight away and skip 12, and then maybe get 12L out a little bit sooner. That would be my very charitable interpretation. Does Microsoft, with their handling of Duo, do they deserve our charity? Probably not, right? We probably should be, you know, expecting the worst and hoping for the best, hoping to be disappointed by, hoping to be You expect disappointment, you'll never be disappointed, that kind of thing. But yeah, I mean that's kind of how I'm looking at it right now. Thank you for dropping in, saying hello. Thanks for watching. I do appreciate it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm hopeful that things will start to smooth out, and then when Android 11 does drop on the original Duo, that will give them hopefully a base to co-develop for both devices, right? If you can get to a place where Duo 1 and Duo 2 are running effectively the same software, then hopefully the updates won't be staggered and weird and awkward. They can just kind of come out together at the same time or close to. You can co-develop like what a lot of other people do, but it's definitely like I can see the pessimism. See, this is something too that's like a lot of people thought Duo is going to be like this like tinkerer's device, right? People are going to be hacking it and custom ROMs and all these sorts of things, and that's not happened like at all. And yeah, like I would love to see what Lineage OS or something like that. Like, how would that work? I really don't know. I mean, they'd have to figure out a way. I mean, you couldn't just slap a ROM on there and call it a day, because it would have to understand how to launch apps on the two different screens, right? So it's a little different than that. But I would have loved to have seen way more development on Surface Duo and Duo 2. Excuse me, there's somebody, Gustav here, who was involved in the Lumia project, and he's worked on it a bit. He's got a Duo now and has been working on a little bit of stuff, but that's been, a little bit, not seeing anything back from it. So I don't know, maybe one day we'll get there, maybe we won't. Guys, I know I normally go for closer to an hour, but I'm kind of feeling like garbage right now. So I'll answer a couple more questions, and I'm probably going to call it a night. I'm probably going to go run to CVS and go buy myself a COVID test and see what's going on. Hopefully it's just a cold or something like that. Keep your fingers crossed for me. Probably not for a long time. Hey, you got an FT86 in your picture, man. Sick. I have a red one. I have a red Toyota. Pretty cool. Don't see a lot of those. I don't think there's going to be a sale for a minute. I think it's going to be a while. I don't think they have any intention on fire sailing this thing. I think that they're going to hold steady. I think that there's a chance they'll hold steady on price. They'll work on software. We won't see a Duo 3 for at least 18 months after Duo 2's launch, maybe mid-year next year, something like that. And I think it's probably going to hold steady. Yeah, it would be great to see something like Continuum, right? I mean, Windows Phone had Continuum way back. So why that's not a thing on Duo, I don't know. It is a bummer. I get that it would take a lot of, we only have so many people working on Duo. I get that. But it would have been really cool to see. Would have been a nice feature. Absolutely. You are welcome. You are all welcome. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I'm going to call it a night there. I'll be hopefully totally normal and fine and continuing to produce content. Starting back Monday for News Radar. So, yeah. Yeah, the CVS down the road says they have some in stock. So I'm going to go before that isn't the case anymore. I appreciate it. So guys, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for having some interesting questions and comments and so forth. Get to what you got to do. I totally understand. It is very expensive. Hope when you do get it, I hope that you do enjoy it. Guys, I'll see you on the next one. And until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.